Well, we're out here in the shop tonight. It's raining like cats and dogs. Ain't got nothing else to do. If you hear somebody over in the background, it's Zach, my son. He's building knives, and I thought I'd tie up a few crappie jigs this afternoon. Ones I like to use on Bay Springs Lake. If any of y'all know me and know how I like to fish, y'all get to see what I fish with sometimes. So we're gonna get started here. I'm using a little 1/16 ounce jig head. And I'm gonna put a little Sally Hansen's hearted nails on the shank here, just to lock this thread down. We're gonna use some 210 denier, waxed, non-waxed, whatever, line in a gray. We're going to start at the head and start wrapping down, holding your line and covering it all the way back to the tip of that hook. When we get there, we're going to go right back up and lock all that in. Just let that hang there. Trim our tag end off there. All right, so this color, I'm going to use some white and gray hackle feathers. And I'm going to put my hackle feathers, I'm going to stack them. I'm going to put the gray in the middle. That's the first thing I'm going to lay down, is the gray. And I try to lay that where I want it to stick just a little, about a quarter to a half past the tip back into my hook there. I want to loosely wrap this just a little bit just to get it holding there. We're going to situate it, make sure that feather's turned just like I want it. And we're going to continue to wrap all the way to the tip of the hook. Then we'll come back real tight. You'll see that jig head moving while I'm putting a lot of pressure on that. You can't ever put too much line, in my opinion. All right, we're gonna let that sit there. So there's our gray. All right, before I put my white, I'm gonna put a little bling bling in there. I got some little flash in here. I'm gonna double up. You see me doubling this up. That's gonna give me 4 strands the way I do it. So I'm gonna take that and stretch it out and go underneath the head of that hook. Whoops, got one slip from me. Right underneath that hook. Then we're gonna start twisting, and as I twist, I'm pulling that back to where it's gonna lay on each side of that hackle. And I'll come right back up. All right, now I like this to stick about 1/8 of an inch past my feather. All right, so there is our bling. Then I want to take my white hackle feathers and stack them. What I do is I cut the tip of the hackle. You see right here, just a little tip. And you usually get a couple V's out of the same feather, you'll cut them. You just start stacking these up. I like to turn them where they're going to flare out on each side, sort of like a 57 Chevy, you know, stick off the side there. I get that laid on there. I'm going to do the left side first. Start it a little bit, make sure it's covering like I want it. And we'll wrap her on down the tip, come right back. Same thing the other side. Take a hackle tip and a V, and you stack them. I found it's easier when you stack them and just squeeze them down like that right there. Then you can hold them easy. And just lay it right there beside that barb and go a couple real loose, light, until you can just get that, then you can situate your feather like you want it. And start wrapping to the hook. Come right back. Make sure everything's covered up pretty good. Alright, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to look under the bottom there for a second. Make sure I got everything situated like I want it. Alright, well now what I'm going to do is take a little Sally Hansen hard as nails here. I'm going to put just a little on my thread there. Alright, what I've got here, what's the name of this? I get it from Crazy Angler. That's New Age Snail. That's Silver Streak. Shit right there. Silver Streak. And this looks the most like a minnow or shiner or shad color that I could find when I'm tying these. And it works good in dirty or dark water. Alright, so I got that, I laid that at the tip and I run it all the way down. And now I'm ready to wrap. Now when I start wrapping, I'm keeping a little tension on that. And I'm going to roll it back on itself real tight each round. So I don't have any gaps in there. You can see I'm putting a lot of pressure. I'm moving that jig pretty good. I'm going to go all the way to the tip of the hook. Get that in there. It's great right there. All right, I'm going to wrap my bobbin around my thread one time, cross over, then I'm going to wrap a couple rounds and go back over it one more time, around it again. All right, and that's more or less got that chenille locked in right there. We're going to go in and trim that off where it's nice and smooth, ain't nothing hanging out there. And now what we're going to do is what they call a whip finish. So you take that line, just pull you some out there, make sure you hook your tip on there and grab it on the back end. Then you flip it over and you'll make an X. If y'all see that X, and you can lay that line right up against the head of that hook and start to put you about 4 wraps. You see I'm putting a little pressure on it, then I release it, pull up, and I cinch that down real good. Now I'm going to do it one more time. Hook it on the hook, on the back, flip her over, and make you a little triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull her back up. All right, and this is my hackle feather silver shad that I use in about 20 to 30 foot of water on Bay Springs Lake, if everybody knows where that's at. That's a pretty little jig right there, y'all. I'm talking about it swims real good in the water. So, hope y'all enjoyed this short little video of crappie tying, and catch y'all next time.